when we opened the discussion. The resources are limited, and we can help the top management to get the right decision where to direct the money and the resources. And also, we need to know from the beginning, because we need to understand what is happening. Now, of course, for our companies here in Romania and for our industry, it's a little bit like a small impact, yeah. But if you are to think for a bigger company or for a more complex line of industry, let's say, investing in sustainability strategy and measures somehow will bring some results which need to be incorporated in the forecasting, in the budgeting, and so on. And you can, let's say, you can create a forecast, a budget for the company for a specific period of time, because all the advantages and benefits are not delivered instantly, but over the time. And yeah, in order to do that, you need to be involved from the beginning. Of course, the CFO must communicate each other, because this is not something like accountancy or taxes. It's not something which is exact science. It will be different from company to company, from industry to industry, and especially in this SARS-CoV-2 period, any, let's say, lesson learned from other companies, it's a great value for each other. Yeah, so pretty much these are my let's say my opinion, and I fully agree with you. I will add a little bit of trust, because we need to have a trust between different departments in the company. Otherwise, this is not going to work properly, especially with something which is not, let's say, 100% translated in straight financial indicators, yeah, or KPI.
All right, thank you so much. Very interesting to hear all of your point of views and how you're doing that in your companies. I would like to now discuss a little bit more a non-financial reporting part. So I'm curious, when you're revealing non-financial data, how do you identify the most relevant inputs to the ability of your business to create value? And if they are also depicted in your strategy, KPIs, business model, etc. So maybe it's actually good to start with you, Dragos, again.
Yes. So in this moment, our reporting, it's, let's say, developing. It's not in the, let's say, in the shape I want to be, mainly because we are now investing in some IT systems, which will help us to, let's say, bring all the data together and to create a cohesive report on this matter. And we are also learning. Because each project is different. Each project will trigger some, let's say, different kind of benefits, and must be treated, let's say, unique. Yeah, it's not. There is. So from my point of view, it's not general, let's say, recipe for everything. And we need to treat each project in particular, and to apply specific methodology for reporting and how to, let's say, link the non-financial KPIs with financial KPIs. like I said, well, I mean, in some cases, some actions will trigger, will improve our personal turnover. In some cases, maybe will not, and will bring some other benefits. It depends from case to case. Yeah, so this is the status at this moment. We are working on the IT systems to.
All right. All right, thank you, Dragos. That's true. It's actually a process, but as long as you're moving towards it, it's always only complementary. So I thank you for your input. Gabriela, maybe you could share how do you identify those most relevant inputs for now? Yes.
Yes, like I told you, we extend the financial part with prices consumes for water, energy in a facility part, and we following what is happening. Of course, it's important to improve our a relationship with our suppliers. It's important to understand what is happening there, if when a price is modified, and to understand why. We have a similar situation like in Dragos company, because we activate in 4 sites in 4 regions in Romania, and we have different suppliers. That's why the behavior is different from them. So it's important to have adaptability, and and our goal is to improve our communication with them, and after that to understand what is happening in our organization, and to keep everything under control in some limits. Because of course we can have surprises or not, but if we measure all these parts, we can create a budget. We can see how the prices have an evolution for the next year. We can have some conclusion right now for this part, and we can see how our budget will be affected for the next years. And of course, if we following the Romanian legislation and international legislation or the trends, we can adapt our behavior for our company to implement new strategies in our model business.
All right, thank you so much, Gabriela. Member Razvan, you can also share.
Yeah, Greta. So non-financial indicators, as I mentioned earlier, are all of them consolidated in this ACG report, Environmental, Social, and Governance. In DTC Romania, we don't have in our balance scorecard to the group, we don't have the sustainability measures report effectively presented. But from group perspective and from consolidation perspective, this information, non-financial information, is sent to them to have in the final company's dashboard for the investor and for the board committee. So the only non-financial indicators are those presented in our ECG, with the water consumption and energy consumptions, because they're more, let's say, short-term quantifiable from cost perspective. The other ones, as my colleague says, it is difficult currently to create a link with the monetary effects and the non-monetary effects. So yeah, they are the only one which currently reported for the TSC Romania.
All right. So basically, you chose ones because they're the easiest way to quantify.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. All right. Thank you so much, all of you, for your answers. We're going towards the end. We have around 10 minutes now for the questions. Now, I'd like to ask one question that maybe will be interesting for the viewers as well. well, I mean, everything is interesting for the viewers, hopefully, but this will bring a little bit more action points. So I would just really like to know what were the biggest challenges and lessons that you learned while implementing the sustainability measures in your company. So maybe there are some action points that you wish to share with the viewers to help in their sustainability journey. So maybe let's start with you, Gabriela.
Yes, Greta. It's nice. It's a nice question. Yeah, was interesting to negotiate some contracts and to, sorry. To bring in the same basket the facility part with the financial part, and was interesting to negotiate different prices for a major company and to maintain these prices in time. But we learn a lot. We try to communicate very well with our suppliers, and was a nice negotiation process. And was necessary to find some win-win conditions for everybody, and to understand what is happening for whole period of the year, and to have predictability for the next years. And was necessary to maintain good collaboration and a good communication between our internal departments, and of course between us and our suppliers. And to maintain contract conditions from a year to another. And I think we have now a good result in this part, and we can provide to the environment, and for us, for our company, and for our suppliers a good view in this way. Sorry for my voice.
No worries. I can still ask you a question about. Just wanted to follow up, because you mentioned that it's important to keep a good communication with the suppliers. That was really a big thing that helped in the sustainability journey. But you managed to do that. You managed to have great communication with suppliers, great communication with the clients. How did you do that? So maybe there are some action points that you could share with the viewers. What would really help in to put it in the practice?
Yes, we try to have not under control, but a good view for our contracts, and we try to bring some changes in our condition in our contracts. But when we started this process, we contact each supplier. We spoke with them. We understand their position. We explain our position, and this was a method to to establish win-win conditions for everybody. And now we establish to have a review for the contracts one time per year. And of course, in this time, it's important to announce our supplier what is happening with our contracts, with our conditions, if it's necessary to evaluate the environment condition, because of course we have some special conditions from our clients. Yeah, it's important to provide sustainability for the business and sustainability for the environment. And that's why it's important to keep a permanent contact with our suppliers, because it's important to explain what kind of condition we want to have in our business. But only with communication we can establish the final conditions, and to send them our requests, and to have good services from them. And this is our measures to communicate with them minimum one time per year.
All right, thank you so much, Gabriela.
Welcome.
Rezvan, maybe you can share also those lessons that you learned.
Yeah, let's say on our side it was a little bit easier because we received all the support from our group to implement all these sustainable measures in our company. Of course, with the budget limitations, but those which can directly be like water consumption or energy consumption reduction to be right away implemented. So the second point is that in our company, all our employees and from top to down and down to top, all our employees, the mindset of them is it's somehow focused on that direction, and any activities which have been performed from our side have been well perceived by the whole company. So yeah, in our case, it's good to have a good mindset, internal good mindset to move forward with these measures.
All right, thank you so much. So would you say that this mindset has changed well when you got the employees, like for example, millennials who really want to work for? Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Dragos. Could you also share the challenges and the biggest lessons that you learned with the viewers?
Yeah. So I will start with the biggest lesson I've learned. We all guys in the financial industry, we know that our main function is to, let's say, maximize our shareholder wealth. Yeah. So we all know that, and we all know that we need to maximize it from financial point of view. Yeah. And this is quite straight. What I've learned is that the shareholder wealth, yeah, it's sometimes it's not only let's say quantified in financial terms. Sometimes they have a non-financial wealth. Yeah, they want some reputation, they want some recognition from public authorities, and so on. And due to this fact, they may, let's say, support some investment in sustainable measures just because they feel it's the right way. Yeah, it was a little bit difficult for me to understand that in the first place, because not all the shareholders are acting like this. Some of them yes, some of them no. And in my career, I met both kind of shareholders. But in SEC, I find it because when we invested in the new building, our only arguments were related with increasing the natural light for our employees and decreasing the let's say energy consumption, replacing all the water pads and the water tanks with some let's say system which will purify the water from the public sources. Yeah, and we are no longer using plastic tanks and plastic bottles and so on. Of course, we are doing some savings, and we are making some savings, but those savings are, let's say, quite small compared with the investment in such a thing. And it was accepted. Yeah, and in some other cases we had the same experience. So what I wanted to summarize is that maybe we can extend a little bit our view about our the main function role, and just to see that we need to also bring value to shareholder, of course, but also to the other stakeholders. Yeah, like employees, like public authorities locally, and so on. Yeah, because we can benefit from that. This is something this was a fine experience, let's say. what I can say is that we as a finance department, we need to have, let's say, open mind, like you said in the beginning. And we need to move a little bit from, let's say, only classical reporting to a little bit more. Yeah, because the finance, let's say, area of responsibility must extend a little bit more. And I like very much quote from, I think it's an American writer, Mervyn King. He said that maybe the CFO should be called CVO. I mean, Chief Value Officer. Because their primary role is to bring value into the organization. Yeah, so
I really like that, Dragos.
And 2 more points. It's about the trust, and it's about a little bit of, let's say, risk awareness. Yeah, because in this field of, let's say, investment and expenses, I need to take into account some risks.
All right, great. Thank you so much, all of you, for your valuable input today during the panel discussion. I think now it's time for us to move to Q&A. We don't hear you, Marta.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Thank you very much for such a great panel discussion. I'm sure attendees found it very insightful. As Greta mentioned already, we'll move now to the Q&A section. So please feel free to submit your question there. We have a few already waiting for us. First one is from Guillaume. Guillaume is asking, a digital footprint globally is equivalent to 900 million cars on the roads, especially to build IT equipment. Is SCC measuring the footprint of the procurement? Who is feeling the most comfortable answering the question? I wouldn't like to put anyone on the spot. Greta, maybe you would like to answer that question.
Could you repeat the question, please?
Sure. Digital footprint globally is equivalent to 900 million cars on the roads, especially to build IT equipment. Is SCC measuring the footprint of their procurement?
So I think that's a good question for somebody who works in SCC.
Yeah.
Mr. Dragos?
Yeah. I think it's a matter of somehow localization, if I can tell like that. So when you have so many cars, all these cars are, let's say, concentrated in a city, yeah, in a big human agglomeration or something like this. When you're producing and let's say running computers, of course, you are a big consumer, but that power is produced somewhere else and do not generate such a bad, let's say, negative impact over the natural environment because it is contained in a specific location. If I understood well the question. This will be
so the questions are in the Q&A section. Just for your convenience, you can open them as well to read it, just in case. But I would suggest, Guillaume, if that answers your question, please confirm in the chat. If not, we can send you more information via email. I think we can move on to the next question, which is from Guillaume as well. Guillaume is asking, I know we talk about this today, about Romanian legislation, but Guillaume is asking, Romanian legislation changed recently and allows private contracts to buy green energy only and not to be submitted to country mix. Do any company represented are thinking about such contract?
So in our case, it's let's say quite simple. We are not owning any buildings. Therefore, it's let's say it's not in our power to change the power provider. It's in the hand of the landlord. Yeah, so he must negotiate the contracts with the power suppliers, and to maybe to switch or to increase the percentage of the green energy within the overall consumption of the company. I don't think it's can be 100%, let's say, sustained by the green energy in Romania at least. But of course, it can be done. But like I said, if we are, let's say, running in a leasing agreement, it's a little bit difficult for us to do that.
I understand. Next question is actually from our colleague from Institute of Management Accountants, Rob. Rob is asking, what can management accountants do to ignite sustainability conversion throughout the company?
I think first of all we need to change our mindset. Like we already discussed this, because if we are only focused on pure reporting, it's not enough. Pure reporting from financial point of view, balance sheet and so on. We need to focus also on the intangible assets and the added value for the society. We need to increase our trust between the departments. Yeah, so the CSR department, they don't want to think about finance. Okay, these are the guys who are cutting our budget. Yeah, and we don't need to think about them that, okay, these are the guys who are spending the money for nothing or for not immediate benefit. Because in some cases this is happening in some organizations. Yeah? So we need to bring everyone together, together with the top management, and to understand that each of these, let's say, actions and investment in the sustainability will bring value also for us on a mid and term long, and also for the whole the society. And I think it's everything about let's say, respect and trust.
I see. And Razvan, what is your point of view?
Yeah, it is clear that the management accountant role is somehow overcome the only reporting the balance sheet and the P&L was in the past. The management, it is clear another role of designing the new reports and to offer more information to the possible stakeholders. And here, if we are talking about the sustainable measures, to design and to customize the reports where we can see how these targets of the sustainable measures are achieved and what will be the targets for the next period. So, yeah, the management accountant needs to evolve this the current role and to start more in creating and designing new reports and new KPIs to clearly identify and to clear states and to clearly shows how these targets are achieved and measured.
Great, thank you.
I also, can I add something?
Of course, sorry.
That's okay. Also, it's totally agree with both of your answers. I also really think that first comes with changing the mindset. And I honestly think that management accountants has a huge impact on the non-financial reporting and overall organization. And I really think that when we're going to integrate the sustainability into accounting side, into PML, this is when we actually can start even seeing a shift in the economy.
And who knows? I don't know if this is happening yet or not. Maybe in the next years we will have an ISO standard, something like a green belt in sustainability strategies for a company, and maybe this will make a difference when the customers and the other stakeholders would choose to work with you. I think this will happen at some point in time.
Yeah, I also believe that. So hope sooner than later.
Yeah.
Gabriela, would you like to add anything? We have one more question, which is specifically for you.
Yes. I'm totally agree with my colleagues. We expect, of course, an ISO in this part, like in other parts of the financial and accounting departments, what is happening in the last year, because of course we receive information year by year. Yes, it's important to be open-minded. It's important to understand exactly what is happening with the numbers, what these numbers transmit to us, and to be like a soldier, metaphorically speaking, and to announce if we see a trend in KPIs, in the PNL, about the sustainability and everything, but it's about any changes in our companies. I think this is our role, and because we have experience with the reports, it's important to be part of the non-financial reports. I think we have a lot of ideas to implement in this part, and it's important to be part of this process and to help our colleagues and to understand what impact we can have in each company life.
Great. And Gabriela, there is another question from Guillaume also. And Guillaume is asking if you have any preference towards carbon neutral suppliers, and would it be goods or professional services?
Well, we try to be a green company, and we try to, like I told you a couple of minutes ago, we try to implement some standards. And of course, these standards following the sustainability parts, and it's important to be adaptable on the Romanian market, to contact a specific supplier and to try to contact and to collaborate with suppliers that are green in time, and who have the possibility to be flexible and adaptable with Romanian legislation and European legislation. But it's a big process, and it's important to be adaptable, and we try to improve our processes year by year.
I see. Thank you very much for your input. Is there any more questions? I don't see any more questions open. In that case, thank you very much, everyone, for attending ABSL Business Mixer Business Week. And thank you so much to also our great panelists, Gabriela, Razvan, Dragos, and Greta. ABSL Romania, thank you very much for organizing. It's been a pleasure, and we're hoping to see you all next time at our upcoming events. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Stay safe.